Saving Marty, Chapter 25. California, by way of Pittsburgh. Here we come. We landed on a song the midnight before the Pittsburgh Jamboree. This is the one, Pal said. You sure? I am so sure. Good, I said. It's just the plain truest you ever wrote. Wren's. Thanks, she said. Marty nipped the cuff of Pal's jeans and stomped his hoof, which meant bedtime. Can Marty and Bella sleep with me tonight? Pal said. Yep, and for once I'll wake up in a fart-free room. Not if you sleep in it, you won't, she said. I got my guitar ready for the next day. I changed a string that didn't feel right, then I wiped down the body with a chamois cloth to bring out the shine. I didn't read where Dad wrote his heart was a drum. I didn't wonder about it. I didn't let my eyes drift to my closet. I didn't open the door of the shrine. I didn't take out that old paint-speckled CD player. Didn't play any Bruce Springsteen, not even my favorite Born to Run, and I didn't sleep at all. I was showered and ready to go an hour before dawn. Double was driving us early to do a sound check. Mr. Lee was working through to noon, and then he'd be there in time for the show. Mom said she'd try to get out of calling bingo, but then Mrs. McGrath got the shingles, and there was simply no one else that could do it. Pal and I took Marty and Belle for a walk along the orchard fence while we waited for Double. The sun was coming up through the valley. There it is, the glory, Pal said. She pointed to her shadow on the sparkly wet lawn. Gold circled her shadow's head, like a halo. It's one of the last things I remember my mom telling me about, except she called it La Gloria, like they did in Colombia when she was a kid, she said. It happens at sunrise and sunset, and when your shadow goes long and your soul is stretching out. I read about it on one of the science sites. You have to be around water, like dew in the grass. Or the Pacific, I said. Belle and Marty had glories too. I was in the shadow of a peach tree, so I had no shadow of my own. I stepped out from the shade to look for my glory when Double tooted the horn, and we had to go. There wasn't any traffic, and we hit downtown Pittsburgh 2 hours early. Double took us to a diner. I wasn't hungry, but Pal put down a stack of flaps. Wren's, she said. What? She opened her mouth wide to show me every mashed-up thing in there. Gross. Double went to pay the bill, and Pal went to the bathroom. She had been doodling on a notebook scrap, and I took a look. I don't know if you can really see her notebook's doodles. I guess she was scared too, just a lot better at hiding her nerves. And then she came back and turned the doodle like this. It's on its way to being a puppy, she said. She pointed out the window. See the cute little booger on the bench with the old man? Lorenzo Ventura. Uh-huh. We're going to be awesome up there. We said hi to the puppy, and then we took the Duquesne incline up to Grandview Avenue. The sky was clear to the end, and the city shimmered. I had the feeling something big was coming, like when you're in the car and your scalp tingles, and a second later, your favorite song comes on the radio. The Jamboree people scheduled us last. All the acts before us sang fun, stomp-your-feet type songs. Our song was quiet. I was shivering by the time the stage manager told us we were up next and brought us to the green room. It was fancy, soft yellow lamps around the mirrors, velvet wallpaper, a vase full of wildflowers. Pal took a selfie, and I took a minute to calm down. I had brought one of my dad's letters and looked over the lines one last time. Son, when you're strumming that guitar and humming along, you're someplace else for a while. You're in the ocean, out deep. At first you're scared so far from land, but then you let the water pull on you. The sky's blue, like God tiled it with sapphires. The sea, Lorenzo, is greener than a green M&M. And then that wave comes, the one that catches you up, and you're on your cherry red surfboard belly riding. You feel the water, the music, pounding back against your broken heart, like when you hold your guitar high during a flourish, and the bell of it just fits just right into the hollow of your chest. One of the girls from an earlier act came back to get her guitar. Saw you two in rehearsal, she said. I guess you're all right. I saw you up there, and I thought you were amazing, Pal said. Yeah, I'm special that way, the girl said. We're all special in our own way then, right? Pal said. Nope. If we were all special, then nobody would be special. She left, but not before she said, Have fun up there, fat boy. Pal went after her, but I held her back. Wren's, don't even think about her for a second. I know, I said. You look amazing. You sounded amazing in rehearsal. She went on her tiptoes and rested her forehead on mine, and we went to the safe place. You told that girl she was amazing, too, I said, even after she told us we were just all right. That was before I was ready to tear her hair out. Nobody messes with my Renzo. I wondered if it really would come true, our dream, that we'd get to stay friends to the end. We're an odd pair, if I thought about it. I spent half my life wondering about things, but Pal knew the exact right thing to say, to do, to be. She was always completely herself. Pal was special. Our names came over the dressing room speaker. Pal leaned back and roared, "Woo-hoo!" Chapter 26, Stay With Me. The stage manager rushed us down the hallway into the stage wings. There was a mess of applause and lights and the announcer saying our names and, "I'm sorry, that's Miss Paloma Lee." And then it was just the two of us on stage. Pal said, "We dedicate this song to Marty Ventura." And my strumming hand started moving. My dad's guitar sounded beautiful up there, warm and strong. Pal sang, "Tripped into lightness, so true like I'm coming home. Love is a dancer, love like I've never known. Stay, stay with me. Just when I found you, it's time that I'm getting on. Wish I could linger, moving on feels so wrong. Stay, stay with me. I want you to know you'll stay with me." I played the instrumental bridge, and Miss Paloma Lee started riffing and humming along, just letting the song pull her. Watching her, I was flying off the top of a wave, riding the light. Pal cut back in with the final verse. "Walk on without me, walk strong out from the shade. Know deep in my heart, my love will never fade. You'll stay, stay with me." Nobody clapped. A few people coughed. Pal shrugged and smiled. She was in the middle of saying to me, "Sorry, Renz, I guess I messed up," when the air shook. It stung like rain hitting you in the eyes when the wind changes too fast for you to duck behind your turned-out hand. The clapping, cheering, whistling, screaming was like the crowd was determined to knock the building down, and everybody was calling out, "Paloma Lee, Paloma Lee." There was a minute before people crushed in on us when Pal and I were alone behind the curtain, trying to figure out what the heck had just happened. We could barely hear each other the way the audience was going on and on. "How do you write songs like that?" I said. "Like what?" she said. You sang it like you lived it. You're telling a story about my dad. But it was like he was yours, and you knew him better than I'll ever be able to. You know how he felt having to leave for that war, and then at that moment when he was dying, knowing he'd never see us again, hoping we'd be able to move on, to keep living without him. Renz, it was both of us up there. No, Pal, it was you. How do you feel like that?" She shrugged. "It's like I know it's me out there, but I get to be somebody new for a while, too. I get to surrender, to be free." A man in a suit rushed Pal and turned her away from me so he could talk to her alone. More came with him. They swarmed her. I headed off into the green hallway to catch my breath. I wasn't jealous. How could I be anything but grateful for her letting me be with her when it happened? I had never felt like that, a small part of something so totally dreamlike. She made the 2,000 people in that theater forget their troubles for a minute. The tens of thousands listening on the radio were taken away too, I'd bet my life. I'd had this movie in my mind of what it would be like the first time I took off my sneakers and waded into the Pacific. The water so sparkly, greener than a green M&M. I'd be with my dad. Okay, his ashes weren't there anymore, but he was there. I needed a new dream, except I had no idea what that might be. Army medic was out of the picture too. I wasn't brave enough, at least not brave like my dad. Going up to the tailor's to get Marty was one thing, but crawling through the crossfire to save your buddy, that was a very particular kind of courage. The girl in the green room was right. Nobody got to be special. Heroes were very, very rare. My face was hot, my lungs ached. I'd forgotten to breathe for how long? It was really happening. Pal was California bound, and I was not going with her. We found a bunch at the end of the hall and lay back and stretched out on it. A minute later, I felt her cool palm on my forehead. I opened my eyes, and there was Mom. "Who's running bingo?" I said. "Who cares?" she said. "Renz, it's okay to cry." "I'm not crying. They're happy tears anyway, Ma. I'm so excited for her." "I know you are," she said. "I mean it. I know you do. Hey, you were beautiful, and you are beautiful." And that's the end of part 2.